Let's get into it, Spenny. Lions nickel package. Let's come out of the gate strong.
Lions nickel
Let's go.
package.
First down.
First down, first question of the Lions nickel package. Can Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both go for 1,500 all-purpose yards next year?
Spenny.
I mean,
Spenny.
Hey.
That's 3,000 yards,
They were pretty close this year.
No, they can't. Now, this is where I'm drawing. Hey, I'm as bricked up on the Lions as anybody. Okay? Flannel, come on.
1,500.
No, they cannot. Here's what I will say.
3,000 yards. Okay. Goff's going to throw for $7,000 this year, huh?
Let's go.
I am personally guaranteeing, though, that Jahmyr Gibbs will.
I agree.
I would bet.
Oh, wow.
I would bet anything within reason that Jahmyr Gibbs will. I don't think David Montgomery will, because in this Lions offense, he's not enough of a passing game threat. He only had 117 receiving yards last year. Granted, he did miss 3 games, but I don't think he's going to be a big part of the passing game. I could see David Montgomery having about 1,050 yards on the ground and maybe $175 through the air, something like that. So Gibbs will, Monty won't, but they'll still be the best running back duo in the NFL.
It is mid-July, Spenny.
It is.
It's about that time.
Yeah, get him juice.
It's about that time for the Jared Goff 6,000 passing yards talk.
Hey.
I can't hate it, Spenny. I can't. All right, second down.
All right, second down. Amon-Ra St. Brown played with not only a torn oblique, which he sat out because it was completely off of his body at one point, but he played Monday Night Football against the Raiders with hand, foot, and mouth disease and went out there and balled. Your thoughts?
This dude is just flat out built different. Mm-hmm. His father created the perfect human being.
He really did.
He created the perfect human being. Like, there's no adversity that affects this man. No. There's no physical issues that affect this man. He's a beast, man. And this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about, Spenny. Mm-hmm. Remember when I got killed by all the Vikings fans? When I was like, straight up right now, give me Amon-Ra over Justin Jefferson. Remember when I got killed for all that stuff?
I don't blame people for killing
No.
I'm just saying.
Do you honestly think that Justin Jefferson is going to play with the ailments that Amon-Ra St. Brown plays with, and hand, foot, and mouth disease goes for 100 bills with 6 catches.
6 catches, 108 yards.
Like, dude, he is cut different. I don't care what anybody. Give me Amon-Ra St. Brown all day, every day. This guy's Detroit, man. He is Detroit.
For this Lions team, yeah. Like, I have no. There's Amon-Ra St. Brown is damn near the best thing you have. Arguably the best thing you do have, either him or Panay. And the reality is that I actually said this to Spenny in the back yesterday, and I mean this in the most complimentary way possible. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a sociopath. Amon-Ra St. Brown, even when you look back at footage from when he was 8 years old, he just had this intense look in his eyes. He looked like he had no life in them. And that has created, to me, what he has become on the football field, with remembering every person who was drafted before him, catching 202 balls from a jug machine after every single practice. And you mentioned it too. John Brown, his father, hell of a parenting job, and hell of a parenting job due to by the mother forcing the St. Brown kids to learn German, even when they didn't want to. They basically created what they wanted in their sons. And Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's going to go down as one of the greatest sports figures in Detroit Lions history, maybe the city of Detroit history.
No, this guy is built to be in Detroit. Yep. Built 100%. To be in Detroit. And I will take him 101 times out of 100 over Justin Jefferson. You can laugh at that all you want. I don't have to wonder. I don't have to wonder about Amon-Ra St. Brown. He is plug and play for the duration of that contract. He is plug and play.
I mean, Justin Jefferson did sign, though. I'll just say that. He's not holding out.
And a tangible to that conversation, too, is the complimentary piece that Amon-Ra is to Jared Goff. Jared Goff's perfect receiver is Amon-Ra St. Brown. And I think that also plays a factor into why I'd rather have Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Lions than Justin Jefferson.
No, he's the toughest SOB in the National Football League. I mean, I don't know if I can confirm that there's not one person tougher than him, but there's not too many people that would play with all of those ailments. And of course, since he's smaller, has a smaller stature, and plays down the middle a lot more than other wide receivers, he's going to probably have to play with more ailments moving forward. But Amon-Ra St. Brown will do it. He'll play with stuff that should keep people out for multiple weeks. So shout out to him.
All right, third down.
All right, third down, third question of the nickel package. Who starts at nickel for this team?
Is it Iffy? He came on, man. Like,
No, for sure. Would you say nickel and slot are kind of synonymous to this conversation? Brian Branch. I would say Brian
You don't
Branch.
think they're putting him at safety?
Here's the thing about Brian Branch, and this is where he showed me something last year, and I know it moving forward. I'm not saying that he's better than these guys, but he had a lower passer rating allowed, primarily from the slot corner position, than Teron Johnson from Buffalo and Trent McDuffie from Kansas City. What did those two guys have in common? They were the all-pro slot corners, and Brian Branch beat him in passer rating allowed. To me, at the beginning of the season, and this can change, this is a very fluid, I would say, cornerback room outside of a guy like Carlton Davis, who's obviously going to be your cornerback one. At the beginning of the year, I would probably say Brian Branch at the slot and Amik Robertson at CB2. But as time goes on, maybe you move Branch to safety, maybe you put Terrion Arnold at CB2, maybe you put Amik. There is such a diverse set of skill sets within this cornerback room that there might be different lineups every week.
To me, Branch is like a non-negotiable. Like when you say nickel, I always think of like obvious passing situation. Who's a cat you're bringing in? Like to me, Branch is out there.
That's fair.
Any second Branch can be out there. He's got to be out there.
That's fair.
So like to me, what a nickel means is the Iffy situation. Like you're bringing him in as
extra defensive
that
back.
extra defensive back. Like guys, Iffy is one of those dudes, man, where people clowned him, and he improved and improved and improved. And I think for the Lions to get to where they want to go, you'll laugh at this, but you and I have different theories on this. Like when we talked about the Denver Nuggets, to me, like Jokic is a non-negotiable, right? You have to have a Jokic to get into the club, as I've said before.
100%.
Jamal Murray is the luxury. Like he's a guy that talks to the girls and all that kind of stuff. To me, Iffy is the one that pulls the girls once they get in the club. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he's going to be huge this year. He is going to make big plays, and everyone's going to go crazy about it. Mark that down because it's going to be that situation. Fourth down.
Fourth down. Can Jack Campbell make the leap next year?
What's the leap mean to you, Flannel?
120, 110, 115 tackles.
Oh, well, yeah, certainly. If that's the leap, I think he's going to do it. No question about it. My expectation of the leap is that by the end of the season, you have very little doubt of who the best overall linebacker on the team is. You have and another thing that Jack Campbell has to do too, which will help create him being the best linebacker on the team, he's got to improve in coverage. I don't think he's going to ever be a great coverage linebacker, but he was very good against the run for the most part this season. But against the pass, when he's guarding running backs or, God forbid, tight ends one-on-one, which we hope never happens this year, he struggled some. But he was a rookie, and maybe it was just a position where coming in as a rookie is tough. I expect him to be better. The leap, I guess that's up to people's interpretation.
It's just like given the nature where he is, like a week, like the leap, there has to be sexiness for people to say that there was a leap. The off-ball line, that's like a grinder spot, dude. You just show up and you get your 115 tackles, and if maybe you get lucky, maybe you pick off 3 passes, a ball bounces your way, you take one of them back for a touchdown, then everyone will say, yeah, you made the leap and stuff like that. It's just like forecasting that. I'm not in that business.
Okay.
I think, and there's nothing wrong with this. Like, I know this is how we're programmed now. There's nothing wrong with Jack Campbell being that dude that just goes out there and gets you 120 tackles every year, and it's not sexy.
Of course.
There's nothing wrong with that. And that would even be a very, very good first-round pick, everybody, given where he was taken. If you roll out and you get an 8-year starter, when a draft started, somebody said, hey, here's an 8-year starter at linebacker that will get you triple-digit tackles every year, teams will fall over themselves to get that.
100%.
So, take a leap. I don't know if he's going to, take a leap in today's day and age to today's, standards and things like that. But what I do know is this. He is trending towards being one of those guys that you put him out there and you forget he's there.
Sure.
And that's a good thing.
Ryan in the chat actually said he's our AJ Hawk. I don't hate that. If he becomes AJ Hawk, that would be a perfectly worthwhile draft pick.
And Neil, I don't know. I think that's pretty sexy to me.
Sure.
personally. 8-year starter at middle linebacker.
No, 100%. But like if it's not filled with highlight reel
If it's
plays.
not Bobby Wagner.
Oh, he was a
Fred
first
Warner.
round pick. I need, no, it's not, it's not that. All right, fifth down.
Fifth down, fifth question of the nickel package. Who finishes with more sacks, Davenport or Houston?
Houston's got to do it to get paid, man.
That's a great point. See, I'm going to go with Houston as well. And one of the reasons is because Houston, obviously, he showed that amazing flashback in 2022. With Houston, I look at him as somebody who just had one bad injury that kept him out for most of last year. With Davenport, you can almost pencil in that he's probably going to play 12 games or less at most. So give me Houston, and I also think he's going to be more of a specialist, whereas Marcus Davenport, as Spenny has said, and I agree with this 100%, if you can have like an amalgamation of Marcus Davenport and James Houston as your opposite defensive end to Hutch, you're doing all right. But I think sacks, just purely sacks, give me James Houston.